CIA has been a real problem for this country for a very long time. This organization, I often say, was created by the elites, by the globalists, because the same people that were in charge of banking, financial systems, and government were the ones who created the agency in the first place. So it was not to protect American people, it was not to protect America as a country, but it was to expand their own agenda and their own influence overseas. This is why very soon, when CIA was created, we started seeing overthrows in other countries, we started seeing coups, we started seeing things that an intelligence agency should not do. By definition, intelligence agencies should be collecting intelligence, converting spies. They went way beyond that. And today we're going to discuss everything else that CIA does that people do not know about. So in 1975, a senator called Frank Church pretty much had it, much like us. He was like, you know what, I'm done with this. We need to somehow figure out how is this agency so powerful? Why are they allowed to do what they want? They're just killing people in every corner. They do whatever they want. Nobody ever gets fired. And he really just had it. So he audited entire CIA. He went in and he started investigating what do they have, what do they hide, what does even such a thing as national security mean, and why should we not know anything about it when it's our national security on the line, right? So he found out that CIA had such a thing, again, in 1975, guys. Can you imagine what's possible now? CIA had such a thing called heart attack gun.
A what?
A heart attack gun.
Does this pistol fire the dart?
Yes, it does, Mr. Chairman. The round thing at the top is obviously the sight. The rest of it is what is practically a normal 45, although it's special. However, it works by electricity. There's a battery in the handle, and it fires a small dart.
So that when it fires silently?
Almost silently, yes. Very little.
Is it like a direct energy weapon?
No. So back in the 70s, there was no not even an idea of a direct energy gun, but they were much more practical about it. So they found a poison. It's a shellfish poison in an ice cube. So the gun shoots an ice cube. It is almost like a mosquito bite. So you will feel something, but it will be like
very small.
It's very small. So you'll feel something, but it will be like a mosquito bite in your arm or in your throat or somewhere. And then the ice cube, tiny little round ice cube, will melt in your bloodstream and you'll get a heart attack. The best thing about it was that no one in the autopsy would be able to figure out it was a poison that killed you. It would just be a heart attack.
Wow.
So go back in history now and look at how many people died somewhere around that year from the heart attack. Well, before.
It looks like a gun? It sounds like a gun?
It doesn't sound at all. It can cover quite a distance. As you can see, it has a very small, tiny little hole. So he's presenting this to Congress, who's supposed to be in charge of our government and keeping everyone in check, especially these agencies. As you can see, they had no idea.
How did he get a hold of it?
So he just audited the CIA. He went in and he said, no more secrets, no more need-to-know bases.
Why would they listen? Who cares what he says?
Because he got rest of the Congress on board. Everyone was so shocked by the fact that CIA was just off rails. Like they were creating so many problems overseas and in our international politics that they were like, hey, so we gotta get together, we gotta form a committee. They formed a committee and they forced the agency to disclose stuff.
Just to play devil's advocate, what's the problem?
What do you mean, what's the problem?
They have a weapon that they use to take certain people out. What's the problem?
Well,
to play devil's advocate.
The problem is, why do you need a heart attack gun? So let's say it is really for the enemies, like CIA claimed, right? Well, you can actually, we've been killing enemies from day one of our existence, so we didn't need a heart attack quiet gun.
Now they could do it quieter.
Yeah. No. Here's the thing. Now they have an ability to kill anyone. Even the ally, if they need to. For example, American citizens who want to come out and say that government is corrupt and they're doing something they shouldn't do, they can silence everyone.
But can't you say that about anything that they want to do? I mean, if they want to kill somebody, they could put poison in their food. If they choose to do that, they could do that with or without.
But you can catch them. That's the problem.
And think
So
of the number one killer in the
exactly.
world is heartbeat. Now
Yeah.
I'll think of how the stats are all.
I mean, how many people do they really do that with?
that's the problem. You don't know. So let's say Frank Church himself, right? So if they were smart enough and fast enough, they just didn't know what hit them. With that committee, that's what happened. They could have killed Frank Church, a great guy who cared about the country. Right? We would never know. He
But
would
they
have
could
died.
have also taken out, again, let me preface with the CIA,
I know exactly what you're
from the top down, I believe is corrupt. But if we want to play devil's advocate and they want to go and take out a president or a tyrant or a dictator in a country,
They have
it's a
no
great way
right
do
to.
it.
They have no right to. They have no right to. So here's the thing. There is such a thing as international law. This is what has got us here where we are. You can't just go and murder other people's leaders. Who are you to do that? Are you God? Like, first of all, you're messing up with the international order that you yourself created. We are the police of the world, and we tell, Gaddafis and others that, well, you can't do that, really? So the bully can do everything, but others can't? That's bullying. That's bullying the world. That's double standard. That's saying to others, international law dictates that you cannot conduct overthrows in other countries when you don't know the political situation, or even if you know the political, it's none of your business. So you're pushing democracy, you're pushing international law, you have zero rights to murder anyone outside of your country, unless that person becomes a terrorist.
You should have zero rights to murder anybody to begin with.
Yes.
But if we're already going down that route, it's a pretty good weapon.
It's a great weapon. Nobody says it's bad. The problem is it's an unethical weapon. So you can use it against
So what
your
is an
own-
ethical weapon? A gun?
Well, no, ethical weapon is anything that you don't have to hide. For example,
But then they'll see you coming and know who did it.
I'll make a case right now. So yeah, exactly. Well, that's the point. So according to international law, when someone's a designated terrorist, right? So we labeled them that they are terrorists. That's a question too, whether they are or not. We label everybody a terrorist nowadays. But let's say someone's a real terrorist. You don't need a heart attack gun for it. You know what we do? We drone them. That's legal. So for example, you want to kill a terrorist that's working against your country, you gather a team together of Navy SEALs or Green Berets, you conduct a mission, you kill them, he's out, done.
But now let's assume, again, my job here, as far as I know, is playing devil's advocate.
Yeah, of
so
course,
let's do
sure.
that. So now let's go to the terrorist route for a second, right? You have a terrorist hiding out. Drones and bombs are not getting him. He's 100 meters underground for the next 7 years.
Then how is a heart attack gun gonna get?
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
The most logical, forget a heart attack gun. The most logical step that I would take if I wanted to take that person out would be, okay, this person is hiding, I can't get to him with airstrikes or drones or anything like that. If I bring somebody undercover and get that person over the next couple of years to get into their organization, and then get them close enough to that individual, I can either poison them, I can do the heart attack gun, I can do a lot of different things, but you would need it to be person to person undercover and hiding it, right? So that's a situation where
Why
you
do you
would need
need
to
a
do
heart
that.
attack gun for it? You can poison them anyway. So here's the thing,
The heart attack gun just makes it easier.
again, you can cause a heart
Although
attack.
I think the gun is also stupid, it should probably be a pen that you press a button and shoot.
Yeah, and those things now exist, but the thing is, the whole point is, if you have someone undercover to get to the person, the head of the organization, then he's undercover in the first place to get the guy, right? So you can get the guy with usual poison, kill him and walk away.
It's true.
So why would you need a heart attack gun? The whole reason that they want this secrecy and they want a gun that's unidentifiable is because they're killing their own. And the only time you can get in trouble for such a thing is if you're killing your own. You can't get in. Nobody's gonna have a problem if you're killing, Saddam Hussein or someone else with that gun. No one's gonna have a problem. No one's gonna punish you.
So the problem is they're using it in ways that they should not be using it.
Of course. That's why they want the secrecy in the first place. Otherwise, they would just take usual poison and kill people, like Russia does, for example. Like the reason they want secrecy is because they don't just kill other people. They don't care. They kill everybody. And they need that to stay secret. obviously, because people are absolutely, like they don't have empathy for terrorists. Like they are okay with it. Look what happened where we killed Osama bin Laden. People were cheering.